You go to see your doctor, and the doctor says that you have 5 years left to live. You don't know when you're going to die, and it won't be painful, but you know you've got 5 years, a window of 5 years. What would you change in your life to make sure that the next 5 years of your life, you achieve the things that really matter to you? He told me about an approach to goal setting and achieving that, again, I still use to this day. And I've spent a good part of my life using this approach. So let me explain how it works. Hello, folks. Welcome to this episode of the Happiness in Retirement Program podcast. I'm your host and creator of the Happiness in Retirement Program and this podcast. Thanks so much for joining me today. I want to talk about a subject that I think really doesn't receive enough attention in the financial planning world. And I don't think folks in general put enough emphasis on the very first step in the financial planning process, in my opinion. And that first step that we talked about in a prior podcast is to create goals in which they will inspire you to do the hard things necessary to reach your retirement or to reach whatever financial goal you have in mind that gets you out of bed in the morning, that gets you excited, that gets you inspired. So the first step in the financial planning process here at Del City Capital is to define your goals. And, that can be very, very simple, or it can be more complex in terms of how you arrive at that future that you want for yourself. And we're going to talk about 3 different ways to help you create that future that's going to get you out of bed in the morning. And I want to emphasize, in spite of what you might hear out there in the world in all these personal development books and programs, that it's easy. Well, guess what? It's not going to be easy. In fact, your circumstances are probably going to pull for you to go in the other direction. And that's why people give up on their goals and may not reach their financial planning goals, because they think maybe it should be easy, but it's never going to be easy. And so your current circumstances may not be great. But if you have goals that light you up and get you up out of bed in the morning and make you want to do the hard things necessary to retire maybe at 50, or to be financially independent, or to pay for your kids' education, or to have that second career, whatever it may be, you really have to have goals and values that matter to you. So here at Del City Capital, in the Happiness in Retirement Program, step 1, we call it Reach for the Sky. That's step 1 of the Happiness in Retirement Program that we have at Del City Capital. You could call it goal planning. You can call it whatever you want. But let's jump right in and look at 3 different ways you can plan a future that you would love to live into, that gets you excited, gets you out of bed in the morning, regardless of your current circumstances. So the first way is someone you may have heard of came up with this methodology, and it's from Stephen Covey. Yes, Stephen Covey, who wrote the bestseller, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's been on the bestseller list now for I don't know how many years. I think it still is. I was introduced to that book early on in my life, and I can tell you it changed my life because the first 3 steps in the 7 Habits book are what Covey describes as private victories. So be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first things first. Now, beginning with the end in the mind is really what we're talking about here. And the way that you can come up with that end that you want to reach is to go through the Franklin Covey personal mission statement builder that is online. And essentially, Stephen Covey in the book writes about creating the program. You are the programmer of your life. Create the program. And he has created an amazing online tool. It's free. It's a personal mission statement builder. It might take you 2 or 3 or 4 hours, or maybe a day or two or a week or even a month to actually complete it the way that is inspiring for you. But if you just do a Google search for the Franklin Covey, that's the name of the company, mission statement builder, or the 7 Habits mission statement builder, what should come right up in that Google search is the mission statement builder link. You click on it and it's going to give you some options. One is a business mission statement. Of course, you want the personal mission statement builder. Take a Sunday, have a coffee, have a tea, go to a quiet place and walk through that mission statement builder. And by the way, it doesn't matter how old you are or what your current circumstances are. This mission statement builder is for the ages. Personally, I look at my mission statement every week. I use Plan Plus, which is the calendar system from Franklin Covey that's based on Stephen Covey's principles in the 7 Habits to keep those goals front and center in my life. So every week, every Sunday, I go to the Plan Plus online calendar and goal system. And my personal mission statement is actually right there. And so, you have to review it. You have to keep that front and center in your life. Personally, I like to review mine every single day in the morning, because when I wake up, I'm not waking up to an inspirational day most of the time, meaning it's just simply, I got to get out of bed. I've got all these things to do. But then when I read that mission statement and then create in the Plan Plus system goals, and then actually put the action items on my calendar for those goals that are based on the personal mission statement, which is based on what matters most to me and is inspiring to me, then I can start the day in a really good place mentally. And you need to do that if, of course, we're talking about financial planning, you need to be saving X% of your income. You need to be developing career skills that are going to get you the income that you need to meet your goals. Maybe you need to be exercising because one of your goals is to live to be 110 so you can see your grandkids graduate from college. I don't know, whatever it may be. But of course, all of those goals and those action items are going to be based on that mission statement. So I highly encourage you, again, just do a Google search, Plan Plus mission statement builder, or Covey, Covey mission statement builder. Do the Google search, click on the link, and you'll find it. And just click on personal mission statement builder. Take a couple of hours, go through the process and create your personal mission statement, which is going to include some goals. And if you want to take it even a step further, this is not a paid promotion at all. I would actually enroll in the Plan Plus calendar system based on Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits. So that's the first way to come up with clear financial planning goals and actually create an inspiring future that's going to get you out of bed in the morning, regardless of your current circumstances. By the way, I'm using language from the Landmark Education Company, the Landmark Forum. They talk a lot about having an inspiring future in which to live into, regardless of your current circumstances. And in that forum, they talk about the idea that many people, the current circumstances aren't always great. But it's in those times when your current circumstances aren't great that you need that inspiring future to live into, those goals that are going to light you up. Okay. Anyway, so that's one approach to coming up with your goals, the Franklin Covey mission statement builder. Method number 2. Now, this method is very, very simple, but don't let the simplicity of it fool you. Many, many years ago, I was talking with a friend, and I don't even know where this idea came from. I'd like to find out. But we were talking about goals and life and, all those deep subjects that when you're young, maybe things that are on your mind, maybe not. Maybe you have other things in your mind when you're young. But I used to like to have philosophical conversations. I still do. And he told me about an approach to goal setting and achieving that, again, I still use to this day. And I've spent a good part of my life using this approach. So let me explain how it works. Okay. What I'd like you to do is maybe pause this podcast for a minute and go get a yellow legal pad or just get a sheet of paper and a pen or a pencil, whatever, and create a T on that sheet of paper, just a T. So on that T, right down the middle of your sheet of paper vertically, draw that vertical line. Up in the top, a horizontal line. And on the left-hand side of that T, on the horizontal line, right, things that give me energy. On the right-hand side of the line, the vertical line, right, things that drain my energy. Okay, I think you know where I'm going with this. Then take some time and write down everything in the left-hand side of that column. The things that give you energy in life. They're different for everyone, of course. And on the right-hand side, write down all the things that drain you mentally, maybe even physically, the things that drain you. And then once you've done that exercise, you're going to spend the rest of your life getting rid of everything on the right-hand side and doing more of everything that is on the left-hand side. Pretty simple, right? Sounds really simple. And it is. Except that, of course, a lot of those things on the left-hand side are things maybe that aren't achievable right now, but they're goals to aspire to. So when I did this exercise many years ago, I didn't have much of an income to speak of. But personally, as an example, I don't like to mow my lawn. I never did. I know I have friends who love in the summertime to mow their lawn. It's one of the ways they relax. And, I get it. I get it. You get done and you look and you've got this beautiful lawn and you can have a beer and it's relaxing. But for me, it's not. So that's one of the things that was on the left-hand side of my T. Find someone to mow the lawn. Another thing, find someone to shovel the driveway, take care of the driveway. Another thing, I don't like to do my laundry. Okay. But many of the things on the left-hand side for me, I couldn't afford not to do. But it was inspiring for me that as I worked harder, became a little bit more successful over the years, I was able to eliminate mowing the lawn. I was finally able to afford someone to mow my lawn. To me, that was a big win. And then I was able to find someone and be able to afford someone plowing my driveway and someone, to pick up my laundry. I have a laundry service now. So, but the things that give me energy that are on the left-hand side of that T, the things for me, I love my work and I'm passionate about my work. So I wanted to get an accounting degree, pass the CPA exam, wanted to get also in a degree in economics, and I wanted to study the markets and all these things. So as I eliminated the things on the right-hand side of that T that don't give me energy, I was able to spend more time in the things on the left-hand side that give me energy. Exercise, this podcast now, love doing this kind of work. Financial planning, helping people meet their goals. Love that kind of work. And so I spend now the vast majority of my time on things that give me energy. I love CrossFit, and everyone's different. I don't know what it is on the left-hand side for you. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe it's spending time with friends or family. Maybe it's your career. Maybe not. Maybe that's something on the right-hand side that drains your energy. Well, that would be a pretty big goal, right? To get another career. So again, very, very simple, but very, very inspiring. And just write down everything again on the left-hand side of that T that gives you energy, everything in the right-hand side. Write down everything that drains your energy and eliminate everything in the right-hand side that you possibly can. And you may go through your whole life and still have things on the right-hand side. It's inevitable, right? You can't, well, maybe you can, but it's really difficult to have just everything in your life give you energy. But if you focus on those things, I can promise you it's really gonna light you up and help you, inspire you to do the things you need to do for your financial plan to work. Okay. So first approach, Franklin Covey mission statement builder, go online, fill it out, save it, go back to it, look at it every week, once a day even. You're going to have to make changes to it. Your goals are going to change. Your mission statement is going to change. I highly recommend the Plan Plus calendar system, which integrates that mission statement, but it's not necessary. The mission statement builder is free. Another approach, again, the T account, create a T in a sheet of paper, write down everything on the left-hand side of that T that gives you energy, write down everything on the right-hand side that drains your energy, and spend the rest of your life eliminating everything on the right-hand side and doing more of the stuff on the left-hand side. Very simple. It works. The third approach to goal planning and achievement is life planning. As you may or may not know, I am a registered life planner. Life planning is an approach to goal planning that is for people that are already financial planners. And for those of us that go through the life planning program, we become what's called registered life planners. And that's yet another approach that will help you and help your financial planner put front and center what matters most to you. Now, if your financial planner doesn't know or doesn't inquire of you what matters most to you and doesn't help you with those, that kind of introspection, then, it's perfectly fine to manage money and to have a financial plan and have a financial planner or someone that does your taxes. All that stuff is good. But my personal opinion and the opinion of many financial planners that are registered life planners is that we do our best work if we know what your money is for. We want to know about you and what matters to you and what's inspiring, because knowing people that way actually gets me out of bed in the morning, and actually knowing that I'm helping people do things that are inspiring to them. It's just a different take on financial planning. And I think financial planners that are registered life planners and practice life planning, it's just a more inspirational kind of work that we do. So life planning, what is life planning? Well, first and foremost, if you want the life planning worksheets that we use at Del City Capital, I'm happy to provide them to you. Just drop me a line, send me an email, bill@happinessandretirement.com. And I'll send you a copy of the life planning documents. But in essence, life planning really is all about the 3 questions, as they're called, walking through just 3 simple questions. And the questions go like this. First question, imagine that you have enough money now and in the future to fulfill all of your goals. Right now, you have enough. What would you be doing? And how would you be spending your time? What would you change about your life? Interesting thing is, if you'd say you change your job, probably means you should change your job now anyway. That's a different subject. So question number 1, okay, that's kind of nice. I've got all the money I need. What would I change? Question 2, you go to see your doctor and the doctor says that you have 5 years left to live. You don't know when you're going to die and it won't be painful, but you've got 5 years, a window of 5 years. What would you change in your life? What would you do to make sure that the next 5 years of your life, you achieve the things that really matter to you? It gets you thinking a little more. Third question, you go to see your doctor and the doctor says, You've got 1 day left. Oof, tough. 1 day. What would you regret not having done? What would you regret not having been? That question should get you thinking. And it's your answer to that question that most of the time will result in the things you should be pursuing now. Because if they're going to be that important when you're on your deathbed, then they should be that important now. So that's the basic life planning approach. We add to that what's called a Heart's Core grid, which, again, send me an email. I'd be happy to share with you what that's all about. And then life planning itself, if you work with a registered life planner, that process can be a series of 2 or 3 meetings. But the result is not only what matters most to you, but also a game plan to help you get there and get it done. So that's another approach. Life planning is the more I don't want to say more comprehensive. It's a different approach, and you work with a professional. Most of the time you can do life planning without a registered life planner, but I recommend using a registered life planner. And so life planning, what gives you energy, what takes your energy, and the Franklin Covey mission statement builder. 3 approaches to getting very clear and inspired about what your financial plan should be all about. Any one of those 3 tools or a combination of those 3 tools, if you provide your financial planner with that information, I promise you, in my humble opinion, I do promise though, that the financial planner will be able to do work that matters most to you. And so that's it. That's 3 approaches to goal planning. Should be the number one thing you do before you put together a financial plan. Or if you have a financial plan, then you can update it to include your mission statement or the things that give you energy or your life plan, the goals in your life plan. And then that will inspire you to save more money. It will inspire you to maybe study harder, to change your career, maybe to spend more time with your family, whatever it may be. So thank you so much for tuning into this Happiness and Retirement podcast. You can find us on Apple. You can find us on Spotify. Please subscribe. Shoot me an email, bill@happinessandretirement.com, or visit our website, www.delcetti.com, with a hyphen between the L and the S. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.